Hi Capricorn, welcome to your love reading for January 2019. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. Okay, so I've already shuffled the decks for you and you did have 3 jumping cards. Let me show you what they are one by one because they did not all jump together. Okay, so the first card that jumped for you is the moon, and this card did jump right away. And the moon does represent things that are hidden from you. Just to kind of give you a sneak peek here, I am going to do a love reading for you for the year 2019. And there was a card that jumped. It was not the moon, but I clearly heard the word knowledge when the card jumped. So I feel for many people who are watching this video, I feel like there's something you don't know. There is some type of hidden knowledge, that there could be some type of secret that has yet to be revealed. This could be, you know, what your partner is really feeling, why someone really broke up with you. The moon represents those things that are hidden, but it can also represent fear and insecurity. So you had that card. You also had the Knight of Pentacles. This is slow progress, things moving slowly, but you are getting towards your goal. And then the last card that jumped is the Page of Wands. So the pages can represent some type of exciting communication. This does represent good news, but for some of you it could also be that there's some type of exciting change coming your way. So again, these were all jumping cards. I'm going to put them back in the deck and we'll see what comes up for you. Let's start with this deck. This is the love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January 2019. The first card that you have, Capricorn, is a 10 of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. Judgment. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 8 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 3 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. 7 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. Wheel of Fortune. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. Ace of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for January. Tower. Wow, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, what's the most important thing that Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for January 2019? 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands does represent that you have been waiting for a really long time. You've been waiting. There's been delays in your love life. We'll see how this ties in with the rest of the reading. I definitely see that it does tie in based on what I see here. I've not really tuned into anything yet. Also, Capricorn, if you would like to get a private reading with me, just go to my website, channelguidance.com. I'll also put a link down below to my Facebook, where sometimes I do post daily love readings. Okay, so let's see what you have going on here. You start off with the 10 of Coins, Judgment, and the 8 of Wands. So you have this theme. You have a theme in your reading of something happening for you in the month of January where you have been waiting for a long time. And I see that here in the first row with the 8 of Wands, also the 2 of Wands, and then in the final row, which you don't see here yet, but you also have the Tower right next to the Knight of Swords. There is some type of unexpected change or development in your love life. I mean, you've got the Judgment card right in the middle here. The Judgment card, this is something that comes up when people have broken up, when, you know, maybe even like years have passed where a couple, you know, have just, you know, parted ways, you've moved on, yet somehow you find your way back to each other. The Judgment is, you know, a relationship rising from the ashes. Suddenly you're back on. This is a second chance to be happy, a second chance to be loved. You also, I mean, you start off with the 10 of Coins. This is a card of relationships, love, marriage, stability. And you know, again, with the 8 of Wands, it's like this is coming to you. Perhaps you're already involved with someone, and you have been waiting for some type of commitment. Maybe you've been waiting for a marriage proposal. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to want, you know, to be more exclusive with you, to be, you know, in a committed relationship. There is something coming to you that you've been waiting for a long time. And with the 10 of Coins being the first card, this does mean that for some of you, it could be marriage, or it could just be a sense of stability in a relationship. But again, with the Judgment card, it could be that, you know, couples that have broken up, perhaps maybe you've even been broken up for years. For some, it could be months. There is some type of change there, where maybe the relationship is back on. Now, I also see this in the second row. So, I mean, this is a theme throughout your reading. You have the Three of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. So you have the Three of Swords. So this is the breakup card and the divorce card. So for some of you, I mean, some of you can be maybe going through a breakup right now. Or maybe, you know, there is talk of divorce if you're already married. You know, I still see a positive outcome there. You've got the Seven of Wands, which means you've really got to speak up. You got to stand your ground. Maybe, you know, somebody has asked for a divorce. Maybe somebody's talking about space and moving out, or saying maybe they want to break up. I see that if you really stand your ground and speak your truth, there's a positive change with the Wheel of Fortune. Because the Wheel of Fortune does mean there's change for the better. There is, you know, I feel like your relationship shifts. But again, it could also be that a couple that had been breaking up here with the Three of Swords, suddenly there's a positive change there, because maybe somebody is finally stepping up and saying, maybe this is why I broke up with you, or this is why I had to leave, or, you know, something like that with the Seven of Wands. This is confrontational energy. Maybe you're confronting the person who broke your heart, but there is some type of positive change there with the Wheel of Fortune. Now down here, I mean, look at what you have down here. The Ace of Pentacles, the Tower, the Knight of Swords. These all have one thing in common: a surprise, something unexpected. The Ace of Coins here, this is a very blessed and unexpected new beginning coming for you. Of course, everyone knows the Tower is a shocking turn of events. You know, this is a shock to the system. Something changes very quickly overnight. And this is a type of new beginning, a very unexpected new beginning. And then you have the Knight of Swords. All the knights represent change and movement, but this knight represents something that changes very quickly. And again, having it right next to the Tower means that there is some type of new opportunity for you. For some, I guess for those who are single, there can be a very unexpected new relationship. But for those, you know, where you've been waiting, maybe you've been waiting for someone to come back into your life, because that is the main energy. You've been waiting. Maybe you've been waiting to hear from someone, and suddenly, you know, here they are, and they're asking maybe for a second chance. Or you've been waiting for, you know, a higher level of commitment. Something is changing for you, and I feel like it's going to take you completely by surprise. And it very well can be because of the Three of Swords and the Judgment card, that a relationship that was just over and just, you know, everybody moved on. It could be that you're finding your way back to each other. Okay, so let me get a few more cards so we can get the rest of the message. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for January? You have the Five of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for January? Page of Cups. Messages for Capricorn for January. Nine of Cups. See, there is some type of positive change. You have been very unhappy with the Five of Cups. You have been crying. You've been really upset. You feel like somebody has really let you down. They've disappointed you. Maybe that's where you are right now when you're watching this reading. This definitely does tie in with the main energy, where you have been waiting and waiting. Maybe you've been waiting to hear from someone, or waiting maybe for a partner to really commit to you. Sadness and tears, but suddenly some type of communication. This can be someone telling you that they still love you, they want a second chance. Whatever it is you've been hoping for, you have the Nine of Cups as a third card. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. A wish is granted. So again, there is that sense of sadness there, of disappointment. Like maybe you really had your hopes on a specific person. You were hoping they were the one. Maybe everything looked perfect. You really felt like this is my soulmate. This is the one. And then, you know, this person let you down. Or, you know, they disappeared. I've been hearing a lot of that on Facebook by private message. There is some type of happiness coming to you. You know, exactly what you want. This is the wish card. And it can be communication, but the Page of Cups can also be a new relationship. Or even, you know, rekindling a relationship for someone, maybe, again, where there was a breakup, which you have right here. Okay, so let me get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for January 2019? The Hierophant. What other messages are there for the Hierophant? What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for January? Interesting. The Five of Wands. Other messages for the sign of Capricorn and the Lovers. What's the most important thing that Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for January 2019? Two of Pentacles. So it's kind of interesting that for both decks, the main energy is a 2. So for some of you, there can be some type of choice that you have to make in 2019 or in January. The 2 is also, I mean, this can even be choosing between two partners, because sometimes the 2 of Pentacles does mean that you're torn. Perhaps you're torn over, you know, two people. It can also just represent instability, because perhaps a relationship has been up in the air. That definitely ties in with the other card. You've been waiting and waiting for something to be more solid, because there's no stability here, but I do see stability with the 10 of coins. Okay, so let's look at these 3 cards. Okay, so it's interesting that you have 2 major arcanas and then the 5 of wands in the middle. So whenever I see 2 major arcanas like this, I always focus on what is in the middle. What is the energy we're dealing with here? And you're dealing with conflict, the 5 of wands. For some of you, and I don't always say this, the 5 of wands can represent somebody competing with you. Perhaps you're in love with someone that's already in a relationship, someone who's already married. I've been getting a lot of that in private readings. Perhaps, you know, there is some type of competition. I do see things working out for you because the Lover's card is right next to it. And the Hierophant is a card of kindred spirits and soulmates. But the 5 of wands can also just be that there's a lot of differences between you and your partner. You're very different and you want different things. Perhaps one of you is ready for marriage and the other one is not. That could be that maybe that's why you've been waiting. That could be why things have been up in the air with no sense of stability. You know, I do see things changing for you here. Again, you start off with stability, the 10 of coins. But also the Hierophant is telling you you've got a very spiritual connection with someone here. And of course, the Lovers is telling you this can turn out to be a very significant connection for you that you're making in January. Of course, if you're already coupled or there's someone that you're in love with, I mean, these 3 cards are just telling you that even though there's differences between you, maybe there's fighting and arguments, love is still there with the Lovers. You still have the possibility of a long-term relationship, especially seeing the Lovers and the 10 of coins. So what I see here, I mean, it just seems like something's going to surprise you, because it's not just like one card. You know, I'm not saying this just because you have the Tower. It's because the whole bottom row, the first cards that I pulled, these 3, these are all surprise cards, a very unexpected new beginning. The Tower, a major arcana of a shocking turn of events, a shocking new beginning, and things changing very quickly. Your wishes being granted. And of course the Lovers. I feel like something really positive is coming to you in January. Keep your eyes open and keep an open mind, especially if it's an ex who's coming back to you. Because I do see that you've been sad, but then I see communication. Sorry, you can't see it there. I see communication, even though I do see sadness with the 5 of Cups. And then I see you being immensely happy and getting what you want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the entire year of 2019. See what's coming up for you. Using this deck right here. I've already shuffled it, and you did have 1 jumping card. Okay, so let me get these out of the way. I did do a more extensive reading for 2019. Basically, it has 3 spreads. I have them on Vimeo, but I've not done your sign yet. I will announce everywhere when I'm finished. I will announce it on Facebook, on my website, on YouTube, everywhere. But I have not done a Capricorn yet. Okay, so the card that jumped, let me just show you what it is. For 2019 is the Page of Pentacles. And again, this is what I told you at the beginning of the first spread. I heard the word knowledge. So I feel, you know, for some of you, it could be that you need to know something about your partner. Maybe they're going through something that you don't know. Maybe they have doubts that you don't know about. The Page of Pentacles does mean that in 2019, you have to look very carefully at your love life. Perhaps you need to examine your relationships, who you're committing yourself to. For some of you, it could be that maybe you're with the wrong person. This just means you have to really examine your love life. Okay, so let's just put it back in there. That was just a jumping card. Let's see what comes up for you. Again, this is just a spread for 2019. Okay, this is a love reading for the sign of Capricorn for the year 2019. You have the 10 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. The Knight of Cups. I forgot to mention that the My Ex spread will be back next month for Valentine's. I just wanted to do this spread to focus on the new year. 7 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for the year 2019. Here's the Tower again. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. Interesting. You have the Moon again. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn. Okay, you have 2 cards that jumped out here. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, which jumped for you when I was properly shuffling. So I will put them there together. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for the year 2019. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. The World. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn. The Six of Cups. What's the most important thing that Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for the year 2019? Wow. I mean, because you did have this card in the 9-card spread. The breakup card, the divorce card. It could be that things change very quickly. Because, I mean, you've got the Tower again, you know, with the Moon here. And the Page of Pentacles. This could be, I mean, it can be for some of you that you're parting ways if you really don't want to be in a relationship. But it could be that something changes in a relationship where you're broken up. Okay, so let's see what you have going on here. In the first row, you have the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. So I feel like you're coming into the year just kind of fed up. That's the energy of the Ten of Wands. Maybe there's, you know, some type of really heavy energy around your love life. I mean, the most important thing you need to hear is the Three of Swords. It could be that, you know, you've been hurting. You've been really focusing on a breakup. The Ten of Wands does mean that someone feels like giving up, or there's just a heavy burden. You do have a change there. You have the Knight of Cups. This is your love life actually moving forward. Yes, there's a tired energy there. You may feel like giving up. Maybe you're not finding a partner. Maybe you're giving up on your partner. But there is movement there. For some, this can even be a marriage proposal. I feel like you need to be careful. I mean, you have the Seven of Swords. I mean, the Seven of Swords can represent deceit, but it can even represent deceit or self-deceit. So again, this is a general reading, so you have to figure out, like, based on what's going on in your love life, how does this apply to me? It could be that maybe, you know, there's so much heavy energy around your relationship that you become really pessimistic. Then the Seven of Swords would mean that you don't be your own worst enemy. I still see your relationship or your marriage moving forward. For others where you have doubts about your partner, maybe you've already caught them cheating, the Seven of Swords can mean that that behavior might continue and you might feel like giving up on them, but still, even with that said, you have the Knight of Cups. Things continue to move forward. Now in the second row, this is interesting. You've got the Tower, a repeat card. You've got the Moon, a repeat card. The Six of Pentacles, and then the Page of Pentacles, which jumped when I was properly shuffling. So these all mean something very significant for you. I feel like in 2019, for the sign of Capricorn, I mean, seeing the Tower next to the Moon, that itself is eye-opening. It could be that you're really kind of finding out, you know, what has been going on behind the scenes, especially because this is the main energy. You could be really finding out the truth about your ex, because again, the breakup, the divorce card, and with the Moon, this represents things that are hidden coming to light. And the Tower is also a shocking revelation. Something that just kind of, you know, you're shook. You're like, what? I had no idea that this was happening, or I had no idea you felt that way. You do have the Six of Pentacles here. The Six of Pentacles does represent you getting what you deserve, you receiving what you want. And again, that Page of Pentacles, it's significant because it jumped for you when I was properly shuffling. You saw I put it back. Here it is again. For some of you, it could be that you have a chance to fix a relationship where it was over. And again, this is a theme from the 9-card spread that I did for you for January. So it could be that this happens maybe in January, or it begins and you have a decision to make. The Page of Pentacles is telling you, look very carefully. Make sure you're getting what you deserve, because you do have the Seven of Swords, which means, you know, if there's some, you know, if you have a partner that's not worthy of you, I mean, you're going to know that. So, I mean, if you have a chance to take somebody back like that, you think about it very carefully. Make sure you know they've changed and they really care. But I just feel like some of you, you're hearing something about your ex that blows you away. Like, I never knew that. Wow. I don't know. It's just that same energy from the January spread. Now, down here, you've got the Nine of Pentacles, the World, and the Six of Cups. This is you. This is you. The Nine of Pentacles is saying in 2019, you're really, when it comes to your love life, you're going to have to just look out for yourself. This is a card of integrity, of your self-worth, self-confidence, really putting yourself first. Let 2019 be a new beginning for you. The World is a card of endings and new beginnings. Whatever you learned in 2018, good. Put that behind you and start over. For some of you, it could be that you're still caught up in the past. Because you have past energy there, the Six of Cups. Someone from the past. Memories from the past. Even if you're giving someone a second chance, especially if you're giving someone a second chance, make sure you leave your differences in the past. Sorry to keep repeating myself, but again, this is just a new cycle for you. If you're giving someone a second chance in 2019, make sure that you're doing what's best for you and that you're putting yourself first. Don't compromise too much. Okay, so let me get a few more cards so we can get the full message. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for 2019? You have the King of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. The Hermit. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. And wow, Karma, which is actually the Judgment card. Again, a repeat card from the first spread. So these three cards. You have two major arcanas, the Hermit and Judgment. So for some of you, an air sign is very significant. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Male or female, sun, moon, or rising. For some of you where it's not you and it's not your partner, the King of Swords can also be someone that's really in their head. And you do have the Seven of Swords right next to it. Someone that doesn't like to deal with emotion. They get embarrassed. They just like to analyze everything. Definitely that would make sense with the Hermit being here. This is someone that maybe needs a lot of space and time to figure something out, to see the truth. And again, I see you perhaps giving someone a second chance here with Judgment. Because this card does represent a relationship rising from the ashes. Perhaps you're, really meditating on, should I give this person a second chance who broke my heart? With the Hermit, this is just like, give me space. I need time to think. And what you're thinking about, if it's not an air sign, it's about giving a relationship a second chance. For some of you, it can be maybe you're meeting somebody new, maybe you're just heartbroken and you don't know if you should be in a relationship. That can definitely also apply to you. Okay, let me shuffle the confirmation deck so we can get a few more messages. What other messages are there for the sign of Capricorn for 2019? Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. Love reading for Capricorn 2019. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. Knight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn 2019. The Three of Wands. Interesting because the main energy for January was the Two of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Capricorn for 2019. The Five of Pentacles. What's the most important thing that Capricorn needs to hear about their love life for the year 2019? You've got a water sign energy here. So Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. A male or female, sun, moon, or rising. But the King of Cups can also just be that someone is really getting in touch with their feelings, with their emotions. This can even be the person here that's really needing some space to see the truth. Again, this is someone that really knows what's in their heart and is really acting on it. So let's look at these three cards that you have here. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. So what I see here is, you're making progress in 2019 towards happiness. Because I see some sense of unhappiness here. The Five of Pentacles does mean that you're suffering. Perhaps you're really feeling like your love life is just not what you want it to be. You may feel really disconnected from your partner. You've been waiting, maybe you've been waiting for some type of commitment. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to come back to your life. Progress with the Knight of Pentacles. This is telling you, baby steps. Things will come together for you. So having seen all these cards, I feel like surprises for you for 2019. And I feel like you'll definitely start to see some some of these surprises, because some of these are repeat cards, like the Tower. And the moon did jump for you at the beginning of the reading for January. I feel like you're going to be blown away by some type of revelation, some type of return, something like that. I definitely see a lot of positive changes for you for 2019 as well. Okay, Capricorn, this has been your love reading for January 2019 and for the year of 2019. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again soon.